Who is the supposed closer in each and every bullpen? Find out next on Fantasy Baseball Today in 5. Welcome into FBT in 5. As always, make sure to follow and stream us on Spotify. Today is Wednesday, April 6th. I am Frank Stanfield, joined by Scott White. 30 bullpens, 5 minutes, starting now. First up, Arizona Diamondbacks.
Mark Melancon, it's boring, but there's no competition.
Atlanta Braves.
Kenley Jansen, that's what they signed him to do.
Baltimore Orioles.
Guessing Jorge Lopez, but realistically, you don't want anybody here.
Boston Red Sox.
Matt Barnes, velocity's been down this spring, but they're going to use Garrett Whitlock as a piggyback starter, so I don't see much competition there either.
Chicago Cubs.
Guessing Rowan Wick, but it could be like David Robertson or Michael Givens instead.
Chicago White Sox.
Liam Hendricks.
Cincinnati Reds.
Art Warren, I think, deserves to be with Lucas Sims sidelined early on, but Sims will be back within a couple weeks, so hopefully Art Warren has secured the role by then.
Cleveland Guardians.
Emmanuel Clase, obviously.
Colorado Rockies.
I'm still guessing it's Alex Colomé because of the track record, but I know one Rockies beat writer is thinking Daniel Bard's going to get another shot.
The Detroit Tigers.
Gregory Soto is probably the first pick here, but he's a left-hander. It'll probably be a committee.
Houston Astros.
Ryan Presley.
The Kansas City Royals.
Scott Barlow, and I feel pretty good about it, but watch out for Josh Stallmont coming up behind him.
The Los Angeles Angels.
Another easy one, it's Raisel Iglesias.
And how about the Los Angeles Dodgers?
They made it easy by trading for Craig Kimbrell.
The Miami Marlins.
So Dylan Flora was going to be the guy. He finished out strong last season, but an arm injury is going to have him on the IL. It may just be like a week or so, but Anthony Bender's the most talented pitcher in the Marlins bullpen. So Bender is the one I'd be investing in now in the hopes he seizes the job with Flora out.
All right, this is a tough one. Milwaukee Brewers.
Josh Hader, not tough at all.
Minnesota Twins.
Taylor Rogers is obviously the guy who deserves to be closing, but Rocco Baldelli wants to be a committee guy. So I'm not sure Rogers is going to get even 75% of the chances.
The New York Mets.
Edwin Diaz.
And the Bronx Bombers.
Aroldis Chapman, who I know you're a little worried about, Frank. If you wanna back him up, there's Chad Green, there's Jonathan Loaizaga. They're good picks in like holds leagues.
The Oakland A's.
Lou Trevino, I think is pretty uncontested at this point, but how many games are they going to win?
Not many. The Philadelphia Phillies.
Corey Knebel appears to be the guy there.
Pittsburgh Pirates.
So they've said it's going to be a shared role between Chris Stratton and David Bednar. Bednar should probably be drafted first because the ratios are better. But it wouldn't surprise me if Stratton actually got the majority of the saves and they wanted to keep Bednar's salary down when he gets into his arbitration years.
The San Diego Padres.
Robert Suarez, who was a closer in Japan, a very effective one last year, appears to have a leg up and is the favorite going in. But it could be a committee between a bunch of guys. Dinelson Lamet's also interesting. But Robert Suarez is the one I'd invest in.
One of your favorites, the San Francisco Giants.
Jake McGee. That's who Gabe Kapler, the manager, said if the season, a while back he was asked if the season started today, Jake McGee would be his closer. But he also mentioned there are two other possibilities. Camilo Duvall was lights out down the stretch and in the playoffs last year, and he throws right-handed. McGee's the one left-hander of that trio Kapler cited. So yeah, McGee's in the front, in the lead here, but it wouldn't surprise me if Camilo Duvall passed him.
The Seattle Mariners.
Oh, gosh, it's such a mess. We were hoping Ken Giles would take the role, but then he had a finger tendon issue that's going to sideline him for probably a month at least. So it's a bunch of different guys. Drew Steckenrider's probably going to get the majority, but Paul Sewald, Diego Castillo are right there.
St. Louis Cardinals.
Giovanni Gallegos. I feel pretty good about him. They've paid lip service to a committee. Jordan Hicks is also there, but Giovanni Gallegos, I think, is the best one.
Tampa Bay Rays.
Andrew Kittredge. Now, they love to go with the committee. Kevin Cash loves it more than any manager probably, but I'm just not sure they have the personnel for a committee. Andrew Kittredge, I feel pretty confident in it.
The Texas Rangers.
I mean, it should be Joe Barlow, a rookie who is closing down the stretch, but Chris Woodward, their manager, has said they wanted someone with more experience, given that there are elevated expectations for the Rangers this year. I don't know. Greg Holland has apparently made the roster, so it could be him instead, but I'd rather have Joe Barlow.
Toronto Blue Jays.
Jordan Romano.
Last but not least, the Washington Nationals.
It's like the Orioles bullpen. You don't really want anybody. It's between Tanner Rainey and Kyle Finnegan. Rainey if you have to pick somebody.
I didn't think we could do it. Scott proved me wrong. Kudos to you, my friend. For more extensive fantasy baseball coverage, listen to the Fantasy Baseball Today podcast on Spotify, Apple Podcast, Stitcher, your smart speakers, or anywhere else podcasts are found. And thanks for listening to Fantasy Baseball Today in 5. We'll be back again tomorrow morning. Bye-bye.